Declan Brennan makes a ball, and yeah, a little puff of the cheeks, because I don't care who you are or how good you're playing, every time you see this sort of a layout, you'll get a puff of the cheeks, because this is work.
That's a lot of work, so much work. He might not take these on. You certainly question it if he does. There's a couple of problems. You're drawn to yellows here, but because of the red on the right-hand side. But if you, yellows are very, very difficult here. I really don't like the reds. It's going to be yellows. A question mark over the yellows above the two reds in the triangle area. Yellow nearest the bottom right-hand corner.
Wondering, Syke, is he going to potentially look at a 3-ball plant here?
No, I don't think that was the plan. He might now, but the problem with the yellow might stick. I think the plan was to come off the cushion a fraction more. So the yellow that he was looking at bottom left-hand corner, going into the red on the right-hand side, popping that into play whilst he had a yellow over right centre to reset. Now he's off the cushion, just makes the shot harder. The angle's still good. Now it's about the yellow in the triangle area. That was a lovely shot.
Yeah, the yellow in the triangle area isn't necessarily the easiest solve. May have to take it now. He will.
Red could do some work on the 8-𝗿 and damage things as well.
Oh, and he was wary of that red, and it's cost him the miss. He was very wary of that red. And Cole Bedford gets a very, very good chance in frame number 1.
Your first thought coming to the table is you play the loss of turn, hide the white, and then you take control here. But the problem is I think he's got too much angle on the red to play the loss of turn and hide the white. So is there enough room to play it as a combination? The other red might be in the way a fraction. I think he's in a tough spot here. I don't think the combination's on. Oh, let's see, he's might be taking on here. No, playing the loss of turn. He had to use the cushion. That's actually worked out really well for him. He was trying to make the yellow. He couldn't get the red through direct, had to go off the cushion into it, which is why the yellow hasn't dropped. But cue ball is fantastic. And with that yellow blocking the pocket now for Declan, I mean, even if he gets out of this, what's he meant to do with it? Cole's miles in front here.
It was an excellent, excellent shot from Cole Bedford. Because you're absolutely right. He was on a bit of a hiding to nothing there. But instead of worrying too much about whether the yellow dropped, which would have been easy to fixate on, he's fixated on the cue ball, and he found the spot on the table that put Declan in a world of hurt.
I like what he's about to do here as well. There's an argument here that you now put the cue ball in the perfect spot, play the loss of turn, and get another snooker. The problem is, if Declan gets out of it, the shot he's just played and now the one on the cushion, he's playing under more pressure because he's leaving yellows on, and basically if he misses, he loses the frame. Whereas now, if he was to miss this shot, and it is a missable shot, I don't expect him to, there's no way for Declan to get onto his bad ball. So there's a little bit more freedom in this shot. I expect him to make it and then play the loss of turn. Change of plan.
Yeah, I think it was absolutely what you were thinking.
Yeah, I think he wanted to get closer to it to make it unmissable, but I think he still should have taken it. I don't know what Declan was going to do even if he got left a ball on. Yeah, he would have looked for some sort of 3-ball plant somehow, maybe a double, maybe the cue ball. It was going to be crazy tough for him. Don't get me wrong, Cole's still massive favourite for this frame. Not anymore.
Well, yeah, it's a fabulous shot from Declan, but I agree. I think you have to question the shot from Cole before that.
To leave the one cushion's poor. If he, to leave the one. If he plays the one on the left hand, if he gets better on the one on the left hand side, comes down lower, he can absolutely weld Declan up. I still expected, because that ball was so low of the centre pocket, I didn't expect Declan to make it so easy. But wow, I credit Declan more with a great shot. I mean, we can question Cole's decision making, but that was just a great shot.
Yeah, tremendous from the destroyer. Cue ball is safe. Big moment early on in this match, early on in this night. Big moment.
Yeah, it is. Would be interesting to take another look at that layout for Cole and just try and analyse where should he have tried to get the cue ball to make sure. He just had to make sure he didn't leave the one cushion. That was the one way he could lose the frame. So we look at it. He plays it from here, whereas I think if he takes the other one first and he's straighter on it. Yeah, see, it's gone to roll too far down. If he gets straighter on the one on the cushion and comes down past the red so that he can then play it and weld up against the red, then he's going to win the frame next visit, because there's nothing Declan can do.
Bedford absolutely slapping that cut break. You can see that cue ball close to going off the table. But no balls made. And Declan's going after these yellows pretty early, although that couldn't have come out much worse for him, really. He played a really good shot. Hasn't really been rewarded for it. All of a sudden, he's got a bit of work to do. He'd have been watching Shane Thompson in that first game, and he'd have seen Shane coming up smelling of roses every time he played a good shot. Declan Brennan's played a couple of very good shots and come up absolutely honking.
It's still only one ball though. Okay, it's not easy, but it actually goes. If worst case, you could try and play some sort of short position on it. There is a way out here. I think he's in better shape than he was in the opening frame. I know he didn't get out in the opening frame, but he gave it a good run. There you go, now they're all open. You were saying he was watching what Shane did in the opening match, and he probably was. I just don't think it would have even bothered him, because he knows how well he's playing. He knows the level he's playing, and he's not bothered what other people are doing.
Been pristine ever since that slightly awry first shot, which you can't really count against Declan. Just didn't come out very nice for him. And well, similar sort of story from the first frame. Problems abound, but the destroyer breaks through. Cole Bedford sits 2-0 down, and yeah, thinking about his choices. I'm not just talking about being a Man United fan.
I guess you've wanted to say that for a little while, so we'll ignore and move on. What happened to Cole with the break on the back of... He'll be sat there, questioning his decision-making or execution of the decisions he made, whichever way you want to look at it, and then you break dry on the back of it and you kind of think, oh, that happens, that seems to be the way. He'll be fully expecting Declan to add another here, but he's not going to.
Oh, and Cole Bedford will be sprinting to this table. He'll be leaving a trail behind him getting to this table right here. This is a great opportunity. If Cole Bedford's to find a way to get something from this match, I would likely suggest he probably needs to take these.
Tricky first shot. He wants to go yellows, clip the yellow into left centre, it's thin. Path of the cue ball, he could land well here. He could, it depends on the natural path here. And where in the pocket he puts it, but he could end up on the one on the right hand side. That would be dreamland. He's hit it firmer than that, and it's not come out great unless he can see the one over top left. I suppose he's got bottom right, but the cue ball's going close to the red on the bottom. He's not in good shape yet. I don't think he could play the double and straighten it enough to play that. He's gone wrong. So 2 shots in, and he's in a bit of trouble here. He might chase and take this one to the corner and screw into the red. But yeah, that's what he's looking at. Doesn't have to really fire into this. Just make the pot and just screw back, just like almost just above pocket weight. Yeah. Yeah, got the cue ball right, missed the pot.
Yeah, touch unlucky. It was good effort.
Cole might have felt that he couldn't drop the one into left centre and hold. You know, if he drops it in dead weight, can he hold on the one on the right-hand side? He's not a player that likes to play those sort of drop-in shots anyway. He's a player that likes to sort of a bit more punchy and, you know, than that. But he could have come out a lot better than it did for him.
And the issue is always when you part complete your finish is all you've really done is make your opponent's work easier. Declan's turn to be a little bit miffed at the shot that he's played.
He might be about to play a big shot himself here. Take this one to the bottom corner. He might play it in a clever way where he doesn't leave anything on. You know, just doing absolutely the match play thing and not taking it on, trying to tie Cole up some more. One of those shots, if he takes that on and leaves the yellow on, he's thinking, why have I done that? You know, lets Cole into the match. He's kind of trying to grind a little bit there.
Yeah, you can probably argue it's the right shot. I would say is we saw this last week, didn't we? Sometimes when you offer players any sort of shot, they can find a way out. Cole Bedford's not taking the bait.
And he's played a lovely shot there. I thought he might go up and down to pot the one over the bottom right-hand corner pocket because he would have gone really close, especially if he clipped the right-hand side cushion first. And then from there he can make the clearance, but he's come up with a very good safety.
Big shot this. This double is pretty perfect.
Well, you said in the last frame, Stephen, that he wasn't getting the couple of nudges that Shane got. Well, he just got one there to make that cross double and land on this ball. it's a great double first and foremost, but that's a lovely touch as well. Nice little rub for him. Landed on it with a lovely angle as well to come back out.
So far the two group favourites, two match favourites in both of the opening games are doing their thing.
Not sure 2 shots ago he may have played into the 8-ball to nudge because the yellow blocks the 8-ball to the corner. If he plays into the 8-ball, then he's on the red to bottom left and the 8-ball goes. He may have just played it the way he's gone, but needed a good cue ball there to land nicely to then get nicely onto the 8-ball. I'd love to have been straighter on this red, but the straighter you get, the closer you are to not being on it at all.
Yeah, I think he's actually found a lovely little route here, to be honest with you. There's a big degree of margin with that shot. Wouldn't have wanted to be dead on the rail, mind.
Well, that's the difference, because if he's straight on the previous shot, you drop it in and the 8-ball goes easily. Because he had the angle, he was putting the cue ball on a line where he didn't want to go. And yeah, this is as bad as he could be on this 8-ball.
Not that you'd have known. pocket from Declan Brennan as the sound goes to indicate the beginning of the 15-second shot clock, which will begin at the very next break. 𝗪𝗁𝗘𝗃𝗍𝗃 gets a very rare untimed racking of the balls in this stage of the match. Ков𝗏 Bedford is going to need a really good rack here. He's going to need a big break. Need to get something going. Mentioned in that first frame how key that moment could be. And I'm not saying it's caused what's happened, but 𝗏 Bedford went from being a big favourite to be 1-0 up to being 3-0 down.
Yeah, well, okay, half chance at the beginning of that previous frame, but he played an excellent safety to force Declan's hand to take on a high tariff double. And Declan cleared up from it. You know, the two clearances, you know, the two mistakes he's made really aren't massive mistakes, and that's not necessarily his own doing there either.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I mean, you got to question how on earth the cue ball's going in off when its first contact of a cut break is directly horizontal to the pack.
Oh, I just love Cole's emotion out there. He really wears it on his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he? And that was tough.
Who'd be a 𝗏 Bedford break cue, by the way?
Yeah. That was tough for his break cue. It's tough to watch as a player, because that was a really well struck break, and the cut break, cue ball straight into the middle of a cushion. You can't believe it finds the top left-hand corner pocket.
Imagine what sort of person you have to be reincarnated as 𝗏 Bedford break cue. Let that thought sit.
I'm just gonna let it hang there.
Declan's got a tricky-ish sort of finish here.
Yeah, it's one awkward red. I don't know whether he wanted to have a better angle on the one he's just played previously to maybe play a short position on the red that's causing the issues. And now from hampered queuing, it's very difficult. Oh, he could just get to the side. He was trying to get that yellow a little bit fuller, and then the red would go into right centre. Red might go to the corner now, but it doesn't matter because he can't put anything else from where he is.
So tucks up. 𝗏 Bedford is a very, very quick player. He's going to need to have any chance in this match. And I'll tell you what, fair play to Cole. You get the sense that he's played within himself a little bit and has played all the inverted commas right shots and hasn't really been rewarded for it.
And he hasn't been rewarded for that either. That's come out really, really well for Declan.
Tap of the table is diabolical.
Yeah. He lost frame 2, leaving Declan in a snooker. Okay, we can question, could it have been a better snooker? He played a really good safety and lost frame 3 off it. He played a good safety there.
Unbelievable shot, by the way.
Yeah, that's...
Cue ball's still spinning, he has to wait for it.
That changes things. He's dealt with the problem that Declan caused, so he should get out here now.
This is what we talk about when you say Cole's one of a very select sort of group of players who can clear from anywhere at a speed which few can. And if anybody could pull this comeback off, you'd probably sort of had 𝗏 Bedford's name in the conversation. It's a hell of an out from where he was. It really is. 2 minutes, well, best part of 2 minutes remaining. 1:57 stops the clock. 2 frames to find to salvage a draw, which would not be a bad result at all. Telling the cue ball to stop. He's got a lot of superpowers as 𝗏 Bedford, but telekinesis, not one of them.
But fair play for trying.
And he will. he will try.
He will have the next break if he was to win the next frame. So, okay, it looks a tall order, but if he can win the next frame and leave only a second on the clock, he'll have the chance for a golden break, and he is cut breaking as well.
And that ball has been moving on both of his cut breaks so far.
So you don't have to go, this has to be a 50-second reverse clearance. You know, he does have time if he gets to the table.
And I think Declan Brennan would have known this already, but that last sort of 40-second salvo from 𝗏 Bedford is a reminder that he's still got a match to win here. Break dry and might just send the cat among the pigeons. Not that that break was ever going to be dry. He has smashed the living daylights out of that.
Normally you go the colour set, he's made 3 reds here, so normally you'd go yellows, but these reds have come out so well. It's a dream, really. If the 2 at the top connect, just leave the low angle as we look at it on the one at the top, track down the table, and the match is over.
Yeah, sick one for Cole Bedford fans. Dreamland for Declan supporters.
He went the other way around and got past the straight. Thought he was going to sort of pull that along the break line. Same difference, really. Just an angle to come down the table.
Cole Bedford is readying the white flag in his chair. Not been his match. It's been an excellent performance from Declan Brennan. The sort of performance that he has found plenty of so far this season. The Destroyer is off and running in the last 16. A very, very impressive victory. Hope still for Cole Bedford, but he is going to have to go straight back on and find recovery mode. Ryan Pisani awaits, and loser is out of the Champions League.